Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K, and today we're picking up where we left off last week in the middle of a base attack that we were defending against. Yeah, not a whole lot of recap necessary. It's us against, where is it? 17,000 BV. Hoser's umbrella is handy. His artillery umbrella that you mentioned, yeah. Things are gonna get a little more exciting and the team is gonna take a little more beating. Hopefully not too much of one. So we are going to accept the defaults there. Let's see, this was base defense. Yes. And we are going to be configuring the bots maybe a little bit when we go in. Now, I haven't loaded up this save before today to really review all the stats and everything, but I did, as promised, just finish rewatching last week's stream. So, like, the events at least are still relatively fresh in my head. So we've got, okay, so friendly awesome immobile Ontos over here. We've got a demolisher. Is that this guy? Thank you. Demolisher over here still in pretty good shape. We have a stalker here with, if it'll come up for me. There might be a little bit of weirdness with the monitors. I wasn't able to, oh, obviously it's not going to come up because we're in the indirect fire phase, but we can view, so that should work. Yeah, like I was saying though, a little bit of weirdness with the monitors because I didn't have a chance to reboot the computer with the current monitor setup. I had to transfer everything over because I've got something uploading in the background right now, so sorry about that. This stalker still in pretty decent shape, a little bit thin on the left arm there, but importantly an elite pilot in a mech with a whole mess of weapons and a whole mess of heat sinks, also very important there. Alright, so I'm trying to recall exactly what my strategy was going to be here. We've got field gunners here trying to take on this Mercury. We've got a Drillston over here dealing damage to this turret. We've got our remaining archer over here, the Mark II, piloted by Petra, trying to take on a plainsman and a griffin, and it's not going super well. Let's see. We also had, if I recall, yes, we have some autocannon 20 field gunners here that are badly hurt and taking cover. We've got these AC-20 gunners who, I think it's the Mercury showing yellow there. I think the field gunners there are in decent shape, but let me double check. And I love that the armor for infantry is represented by individual guys, and yeah, they're at full strength. So that Mercury, however, if I recall, has machine guns. Oh, he's in rough shape. I remembered his leg was about to go, but I forgot about his head, his right torso, and his arm. Without your right arm, you're down to 2 medium lasers, a flamer, and 2 machine guns. So yeah, you are very, very dangerous to infantry. So I think, as far as, let's see, we had something landing here this turn. I don't know. I know that if I don't put it on one of these little red crosshairs, it could scatter potentially. I think it's up to like 6 hexes. So like I'm really hesitant to like put it, say, here and then have it end up scattering over here and leaning some more artillery on Hoser's poor ride. So I am going to go ahead and do it like that. 3847 is not where I was trying to go. Alright, what is going on again? Where is it? Reset window positions, okay. And okay, yes. We will have the mobile long tom fire there, and we will have the thumper also fire there, and hopefully we can do a little more damage on that stalker before he rounds the corner and starts laying into me up here. Okay, there's the Atlas. Oh, yes, of course he's not going to do anything until I replace player. Get a little... Okay, so Federated Commonwealth, that's allied units. We're going to... I guess I had adjusted these and saved it, but we're going to go ahead and moderate that just a little bit, but still keep it a little conservative. So, yeah, I guess we can save those changes. Base civilian units, we definitely want you guys chickening out at every opportunity. So, yes, we're going to save those changes. We're going to save the base turrets for last just so it's not trying to do stuff while I'm making these adjustments. And we're going to go ahead and use default settings for the Op4. Because that feels right to me. It feels fair. So yeah, everything there, okay. And last but, well, arguably least, replace the base turrets with bot. And, well, I mean, the base turrets can't retreat or anything like that, so it doesn't really matter what their settings are at. Alright, so, Hoser with 3 heat currently, armor very thin in the left arm, but otherwise capable of withstanding some damage here. I neglected to notice if the round report came up. Where? Okay, there's the round report. Don't know why that took an extra second. It's got me a little worried, to be honest. I just need to see, if you don't mind. Okay, yeah, what I need is here. Okay, so our team has 1 initiative. Within our team, however, we have lost initiative. So that's going to be Free Worlds League Force 1, and then us, and then Free Worlds League Force 2. So if I can find whichever unit he moved and maybe try to capitalize on that a little bit. You can go down there for now. Okay, so he moved his Griffin. So I'm going to, well, first of all, we can use these initiative syncs over here, trying to take cover, get our pilots not captured, please. Von Luckner, okay. Alright, so now we've got a Drillston here, we've got a Griffin here, and we have also the Plainsman, who has not yet moved and is at full strength. So now's as good a time as any to move our Archer, and that gives us cover. Well, it gives us cover from where the Plainsman is now. There's nothing to stop the Plainsman from coming over here and shooting at us. It's not evasive, but it is on the other side of these woods. I'd rather be closer to the Griffin, to be honest, because all of his guns have minimum range. The Drillson, I think, has lots of missiles on a turret, if I'm not mistaken. Large laser on the turret, machine gun, SRMs on the front, and 2 SRM2s in the turret. So if we can not be in front of him, we can mitigate some damage. Let's see, Archer has battle fists, but if I recall, you were down. That left arm is damaged, but how bad? Oh, it's just the laser, so we can still punch with full effectiveness. And Petra has multitasker. Okay, so multitasker is really not much of a help because, again, I plan on probably trying to punch this griffin. Or, you know, maybe we should go for the kick. Guaranteed to go internal no matter what, and would to totally... Yeah, if we can come around here... not quite. We cannot quite kick him in the side arc. We could... Well, if I'm not mistaken, he also has Battle Fists, right? Yeah, so... and our armor... If he landed a kick on us, it would go internal. If he landed a punch, it would crit the left arm, but he does, I think, 6 or 7, well, no, with Battle Fists, because it's a 55 tonner, it rounds up to 6 points of damage on a punch normally, and with Battle Fists, I think, adds 1 to hit, but I think it does normal damage. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do... I mean, if we did that, we'd be able to torso twist, we'd be able to hit not much of anything with our missiles. We've got the 1 laser, and we've got the kick. Is really all we've got at close range. So yeah, I think... I don't like being so unevasive, but... Oh, it's less than ideal. This whole situation is less than ideal, but at least he's not in my rear arc or something like that. Who was that just moved? I caught a glimpse, but I didn't actually see. So we've got the Ontos over here as immobile. Okay, you guys are definitely staying still. Not doing anything with y'all to put you at risk. You're already crippled. You guys might end up... Oh, I want to see what that Mercury does first. We're gonna hold off. You guys don't have LOS on anything here, but if that Stalker moves his full movement, he could get into LOS. I think in the meantime, trying to get these guys over into some woods. Really want that Stalker to move before I try and move my Awesome. Or my Atlas. I wish I could just, like, go last all the time, but you know how it is. I think you guys are gonna stay stationary in case you get a shot. Oh, the Stalker has moved, and we can... he'd be able to torso twist and get us into the front arc. But he'd be shooting through 1 light woods. So that's a 2, 3 for walking, 4 for the woods. 5, 6s for range with most of his short range stuff. 5, 6s for the large lasers too at 6 hexes. He's just such a good shot, and we are so low on armor. What are the Atlas's options looking like right now? I can get to 6 hexes with you too, and be slightly evasive doing it. Yeah, I think the Atlas is going to make himself a target, and I think the Awesome... maybe if we back up like that, or... Let me see here. If we back up to there, we'd be as evasive as an Awesome can get. We're only really in his arc for his left arm. Yeah, I think this is the move right here. Try to capitalize on the PPC's range. Oh, these guys are about to get gang tackled. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, and I don't have any more options to move other guys. I guess the best we can do is just try to get into cover so we're not taking double damage. Maybe we'll get a shot on that Mercury and leg it. Stalker needs a 3, moving into rubble gets a 6. Thunderbolt needs a 5 to get up, gets a 6 as well. Long Tom has hit the Stalker for 5 damage to the right arm, bringing it down to 13, and the Thumper has turned some light woods into not woods. So that's cool. Alright, Cicada coming around behind, asking to get punched. Hoser getting some shots in on this Stalker's left side, it looks like. Not his weakest side, but I'll take some 6s, please, and an 8, and even a couple of 12s, because why not? Okay. Let's see, you guys have no shot. I just remembered my rule, you know, always take your biggest shots first, so that's what I'm trying to do. You guys do not have a shot on the Cicada, I guess because of this building. Those buildings are blocking all of that. You guys just literally are too well defended to have a shot on anything, which I guess we can deal with. You guys moved this turn, so the auto rifle is all you have available, and there is nothing within range. We do have campfire field guns, but on a 5, we also have 9s and 10s. We'll take the 5, and hopefully that flamer doesn't just like kill all of my guys. Alright, the Atlas actually has a better shot on the Thunderbolt, who, if I can refresh my memory, Thunderbolt has taken some damage, but is still standing pretty strong. Contrary-wise, well, we've got 7s and 7s on the Thunderbolt because of specialization. We've got 7s and 10s and 9s. Alright. Versus here we've got 8s and 6s. So a little bit harder for the autocannon, a little easier for the lasers. Easier for the LRM, easier for the SRM. So, yeah, we're definitely going to fire the autocannon because it gives us the best heat per damage return. And we're also going to lay in with as many of these lasers that we're specialized in. On 6s, oh, that's 5 heat though. I don't. Let me review this for a second. We've got 8s with the autocannon, 6s with the medium lasers. That's, give or take, nearly twice as likely to hit. Same heat, half the damage. 40% of 10 is 4 versus 70% of 5, which is 3.5. So yeah, the autocannon works out, I would say, mathematically to be slightly better. So we're still going to unload as many lasers as we can safely. The LRM and the SRM just aren't worth the target numbers to build up the heat for it, I don't think. So yeah, I think that's where we're standing on that front. Looks like the Archer has the best shot on the Plainsman with an 8 versus a 9 for the Griffin or the Drillson. And no target for the lasers. We're going for the kick on the Griffin. So yeah, let's just go ahead and fire that, and I guess nothing else has a shot. So that's a little lame. French has no gun. Neo has no gun either. Alright, the Drillson at our remaining Archer tags it in the chest for 10 points of damage between a large laser and an SRM, but misses with the other SRM on a 6. Hoser on 6s, 8s, and 12s only lands 1 PPC to the left torso, but still doing some good work there. The Cicada on 7s on Hoser misses with everything. That's good to see. The Plainsman on the Archer hitting with 10 SRMs and counting to the right torso, left arm, left torso, left leg, right and left torso. And would have been a critical hit to the right torso, but instead turns into a critical hit on the left arm, which has 3 points left. The left torso is also down to 3 armor, left leg is down to 2 armor, right torso is down to 6. So starting to get to be in pretty dire straits there. That sounds ouchy, yeah. I guess I haven't looked at the chat in a minute. Reading the old messages. That sounds ouchy. Yeah, there's a lot of ouchiness going on right now. Like, missing on these 6s. Another 10 points of damage on that Stalker would have been nice. The Bulldog on the enemy Thunderbolt hits it in the left torso with a large laser and misses with 2 SRM4s. The allied champion blows off the left arm of the assassin and also hits a medium laser into the right torso rear, leaving him with 4 internal structure, missing with 2 small lasers on 10s. Friendly Brutus at the Demolisher with 2 large lasers to the front, leaving it with 23 armor, and then 16 LRMs, leaving it with 13. An injured driver, even less MPs than it already had, which I think it was a 2-3. Yeah. It's a 1-2, so that's going to be a 0-0. Not technically immobile, but not moving anywhere either. And 1 point to the turret, leaving it with 39 armor. The Spider at the Field Gunners on 9s missing. The Field Gunners on the Hermes hit for 9 damage to the center torso, right torso, left torso, right torso, taking out a medium laser and a machine gun, but not a single point to that damaged leg. Oh, can't you guys do a little more damage, please? The Atlas on the Stalker, hitting with the autocannon 10, so that was a good gamble. 3 heat for 10 damage is big payoff. That goes to the center torso, leaving him with 11 armor. Medium lasers to the right leg, leaving him with 8, failing to get a crit through the armor though. And the Mercury on my Field Gunners kills 2 with a medium laser, misses with everything else, and doesn't even accidentally set a fire in those woods. So, considering they've got 3 mechs shooting at them and they've only lost 2 guys so far, I'd say they're doing remarkably well. That's a lot of 6s to have missed on, and those machine guns and that flamer would have done massive damage. The civilian APC at the Assassin on 11s misses with all 3 machine guns. The Thunderbolt at the Atlas lands a large laser to the right leg, leaving us with 33 armor. Friendly Awesome at the Demolisher, 10 to the front, 8 to the front, and missiles to the front, destroying the Demolisher. So way to go, allies. The Maxim, friendly Maxim at the Assassin lands 3 LRMs to the left leg, critting out his upper leg, so that's going to affect his movement profile, and I think will also require a piloting roll every time he jumps. And 2 missiles to the left torso rear, stripping his armor there. Griffin missing the Archer on a 10, nice. Archer missing the Plainsman on an 8, but not surprising. The Stalker on the Atlas, landing 2 medium lasers to the right leg, leaving us with 23 armor, missing with almost everything else, only landing 6 LRMs to the left torso and right arm. The Assassin shooting building in Hex 2231, hitting it for 7 points of damage, or no, 2 missiles, hitting it for 9 points of damage. I'm guessing, okay, I don't know why it rolled to hit on the automatic hit for the medium laser. Oh, hey. And then it rolled a 10 for the SRMs. Okay, so 2 missiles hit for 9 damage, and then the flamers retaliate with a hip and foot crit and 2 to the center torso. which has gone internal. Atlas needs a 4, gets a 9. Archer needs a 5, gets a 10. Both are succeeding there. The Assassin, needing to make 4 rolls of a difficulty 10 because of all these damaged hip and leg actuators. Takes 4 to the left torso, needs a 10 to avoid damage. Takes his second hit, needs a 5 to stay conscious. But he's hanging in there. And then the Stalker needs a 4, gets an 11. So he's not going down. We are going to punch the Cicada on a 9. And we are going to kick the Griffin on a 7. I have faith in you, Petra. Griffin kicks the Archer in our strong leg, fortunately. Not going internal there, leaving us with 4 armor. The Awesome missing his punch on the Cicada. The Hermes missing his kick on the Field Gunners. And the Archer kicking the Griffin in the left leg, critting his foot. Cicada kicks the Awesome in the right leg, leaving us with 1 armor. So that's also pretty worrisome. Hoser needs a 4, gets a 4, barely. Petra needs a 3, gets a 3, barely. The Griffin needs to make 2 checks at a difficulty 7, rolls a 5 on the first one, goes down, takes 5 to the right leg going internal and 1 to the right arm, fails to avoid damage but makes his first consciousness check. The Mercury needs a 6 for missing a kick, rolls a 4, takes 4 to the chest, and does successfully avoid hurting the pilot. So our boys are all relatively heat neutral. The champion, the friendly champion, is at 7 heat. The enemy Griffin is at 8. The Thunderbolt is at 6. The Stalker is at 6. So that Stalker is going to be a 2-3 movement profile for this round, which means he'll be easier to hit with artillery. And this round, we have won the heck out of initiative with 16 for our team, and then within our team we rolled off against the base turrets and won. So we are at 68%. Let me double check the okay, so the Javelin is dead. We have to kill half of them and keep half of our own force alive. Okay, so with 68%, we've got 18% left. They've got significantly less. Their first force is almost at half already, and their second force is not far behind. And I looked and could not find my notes on how many BV I needed to get them to. So there's that. Indirect attacks. We know where those are going. Those are going right on top of the Stalker if we can. And that's going to be the big boy and the little boy. And those will, of course, land next turn. Oh, it looked like the Assassin had some trouble standing up. And I also forgot, I need to keep this over here. Yeah, Assassin is crippled and withdrawing. Only I don't think things went to plan because he's missing like 3 actuators, including a hip. Yeah, he's down to a 4-6-7 movement profile. Now he's taken 2 hits. He walked 0 hexes, so he is essentially stationary. So that's cool. These guys are in no position to do much of anything about it. These guys would love to get into these heavy woods for extra cover, but okay, he's prone. He's still fast though. If we could knock out his leg, that would be hugely helpful. You guys, again, just kind of going for the area denial. We want to try to keep the Stalker or anyone from occupying this space here. Try to keep reinforcements from traversing that plane. You guys are trying to make it to cover, and then maybe next turn you can unleash your autocannon 10s on the Cicada or something. Alright, what else have we got to move? You guys kind of kind of want to just make things as difficult as possible for you guys to get surrounded. Moving them that early may or may not have been a mistake. That Phoenix Hawk, let's see, this is the PXH-1, which has one machine gun and a medium laser left. Okay, and only 7 points holding that together, so cool. Archer. This Griffin is hanging tough. The Plainsman is backing off. I am not mad about the Plainsman backing off, because that gives us, yeah, that gives us medium range on our LRMs, and that gives us a kick into the right side of that Griffin, which is exactly what we were trying to accomplish last turn. Not only that, but it lets us rescue Neo next turn, or this turn. French is going to continue his retreat to the edge of the board, hopefully be enough of a non-threat that he doesn't get gang tackled by machine gun wielding mechs on his way there. Alright. So the Atlas, the Stalker has entered depth 1 water at a run. Now, I know it probably has heat sinks in its legs. It does, so he's going to be sinking an extra 4 heat this round. And he's also going to have partial cover against his legs, because you can't shoot through the surface of water. However, if I can land a 100-ton kick on him using the punch table, that would, unless it hits his right torso, that would really mess him up. Wouldn't quite destroy anything, but that left arm would be down to 2 points. So yeah, that is worth a run. And the awesome, I mean, if we could land a punch on his back, for, it would be 8 points. It would go internal no matter where. Or we could go for a kick. We'd be kicking for 16, and that would just straight up destroy. Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to try to land a kick on that cicada and just cripple it entirely. Alright, so Assassin needed a 7 because of the hip and the cramped cockpit. Gets a 5, takes 4 to the arm, which is destroyed and transfers to the right torso. Successfully avoids damage. And then needs a 7, gets a 10. Griffin needs a 7, gets a 7. Stalker needs a 2. Maxim needs a 2 and a 2. The Hermes needed a 6 and only got a 4. Takes 4 to the right torso rear and a point of damage. Needs a 10 to stay conscious and only gets an 8. The Hermes is unconscious and therefore a very good target. Unfortunately, our Long Tom has landed on top of a Bulldog, a flatbed truck, and destroyed the flatbed and immobilized the Bulldog. So, like, I know you guys know where it was going to land, because when you have artillery, I can see where it lands. So why? You had 2 whole turns to get away from where it was going to land, and you didn't. We've got 7s on this Thunderbolt. We also have 7s on the Stalker, but only with one of our PVCs. We've got 10s on the Cicada versus 7s with the lasers, but we wanted to kick him, and all of our medium lasers are in the legs. Should have let him borrow the umbrella, for sure. I don't even know what he was doing there. Like, that was intended for the Stalker. Like, what, were you going to kick him? You're a tank. I don't get it. So I think what I'm gonna do with Hoser this round is we're gonna go after the Thunderbolt, so that we can, actually, yeah, I wanted that one. I want you. And I'm gonna try to hit you with 3 PVCs And we've got better odds on the cicada with the large laser, so we'll take that. Even as a secondary target, it's 2 heat, it's worth it. Alright. Autocannon 20 field gunners, you guys are crippled and doing nothing. Autocannon 20 field gunners. You fired last at the Mercury, but it is not a threat. He needs a 10 or better to wake up. This Phoenix Hawk, however, is 7 points from being armless. But unfortunately, we only do 9 points of damage, if that, at this point. It would basically all have to hit the left arm to be useful, I think. And especially auto rifle. And it was the left leg, I think it was. Yes, it was the left leg. We're going to aim a shot there. I said, on a 5, we can do this. We can land a 5, and at least 1 bit of damage has to hit that leg. It's just statistically inevitable. Alright, so against the Stalker, which is in the water, we've got 6s. 7s against the Thunderbolt with the autocannon 10. However, with the lasers, since we're specialized, we've got 4s. And I think, because we have 5 forward-facing lasers, that's 15 heat. So we'd be able to just fire all of those and be heat neutral. Alternately, we could fire the SRM-6, also on a 6. That would put us at +4 heat for the round, which should be acceptable. But I think I want the punchiness of the autocannon 10. That Stalker's still pretty fresh. I want to just carve the armor off of it. And that puts us at 3 heat. Gribbly, how's it going? Victory conditions might be close. Yes. The victory conditions, we're within about, I want to say 2 or 3% of their total force of victory. No need to be heat neutral. Might be last round. Might be, yes. I mean, that SRM-6 on a 6 might be the difference between victory and defeat. It puts us at 7 heat, which is acceptable even if we do go another round. 8 would... I would have held off on 8. Oh no, we're getting shot in the back by a Julson that I didn't see. Fortunately... Well, he's got a large laser and a bunch of SRMs. On 11s, so I'm not too worried. We might take a couple of SRMs, but hopefully, what I'm kind of hoping is that the large laser catches us in the center torso or the right arm, and then the SRMs to the left and right torso and legs in such a way that none of it goes internal. That's the plan. That's how I'm anticipating his weapons fire will go. So we've got a 5 on the Griffin with the laser. We've got a 10 on the Plainsman, or an 11. I think I want to take the easiest shot we can, and then we'll take a secondary shot just because it doesn't cost us anything. 4 heat is fine, and then we'll get the kick in as well. You guys have a target in the spider, but he is not within visual range, so that's kind of lame. So yeah, you guys are done. You guys can't fire your field guns this turn, but you can maybe land some hits on this cicada with your sidearms. French has no gun, Neo has no gun, and hopefully doesn't get killed by incoming fire. Drillson on the Archer misses with everything. I was honestly expecting to take a couple of SRMs, if nothing else. The Champion on the Spider with 9s and 11s missing. The Friendly Brutus on the Thunderbolt. Large lasers to the left torso and right leg, and then 12 more damage in the form of SRMs scattered around the, looks like both torsos, all 3 torsos and the right leg, down to 3 armor there, down to 2 on the right torso, so that's swell. LRM-20 missing on 11, that's fine. Cicada on the field gunners kills 2 more guys with a medium laser. So that's unfortunate, but recoverable. Hoser on the Thunderbolt. 10 damage to the right torso, 10 damage to the right torso, right arm blown off, 3 transfers to the center torso, leaving him with 5 armor there. And also, yeah, taking out his large laser and all of his missile systems. So that's cool. He's down to 3 medium lasers and 2 machine guns. He's basically a down-gunned Phoenix Hawk right now. Spider missing on the champion on 8s. Field gunners at the Hermes. Hits for 11 damage to the right torso. Left leg finally destroyed. Transferring into the left torso. A lot of hits to the left leg, transferring into the left torso. Stripping it down to 2 armor. Getting another hit on the head. The pilot now needs an 11 to wake up, and 1 more point of damage will kill him. Whether that's damage to the head or, you know, failing a piloting check. The friendly awesome on the Stalker, hitting with a large laser to the right arm and some LRMs to the right arm, leaving it with 1 armor, but not quite breaching it. Really hoping he falls down and something goes internal. And he just like loses half his mech to water damage. The enemy Thunderbolt at the Brutus hits with a medium laser to the left side, but he also fires his machine guns at the Atlas and his LRM-15 at the Jabberwocky, but those all miss. The Atlas at the Stalker, 10 damage to the left arm, 5 damage to the left arm, heat sink and shoulder critted, 5 damage to the right arm. Missing on 4s and 6s with everything else, but both of his arms are open. If he goes down, he loses them. Archer on the Griffin hits for 5 to the left torso, but both LRMs miss, and the Griffin at close range hits the Archer with a PVC to the right arm, critting on the shoulder, so that's going to need a new arm at best. The friendly Von Luckner at the Stalker with 12s, missing with everything. We could have hoped that autocannon 20 by itself would have increased the difficulty of his piloting check by 1. But it was a 12, so... the Stalker returning fire on the Atlas, taking 8 to the left leg, leaving us with 33 armor. Hitting with 8 SRMs to the arms, legs, mostly the left side it looks like, a little to the center, a little to the right. APC on the Spider, missing with 3 10s with machine guns, and our field gunners at the Cicada missing on an 8. Atlas needs a 4 to stay standing, gets an 8. Thunderbolt needs a 7, rolls a 3, takes 5 to the left leg and 2 to the left arm. Pilot needs a 7 to avoid damage and needs a 5 to stay conscious, but he does make it. The Stalker sadly does not go down. He's just too good a pilot. So we are going to try to kick the leg out from under you on a 7. And we're going to try and force another piloting check or 2 on a 4. That red. Still green for the internals, but red for the armor. That's frightening. Needing a 3, and that's guaranteed to kick the right side. I like what I see already. The Spider kicks the machine gun APC in the left side, but the armor holds, and it's not quite crippled. The Awesome missing his kick on the Cicada kicking the field gunners for 1 more dude. Atlas kicking the Stalker in the head for 20 points. Section destroyed, critting on the cockpit and life support. So yeah, that's definitely a victory condition right there. And then the Archer kicking the Griffin in the right leg, transferring into the right torso. Awesome stays standing. Griffin goes down, takes 6 point damage to the right arm and torso. Needs a 12 to avoid damage and a 5 to stay conscious, but he does that successfully. We have recovered pilot Neo El Daba. And he got a little out of control this turn, but I'm sure that's about to be vindicated. Yes, they are down to 5,700 BV or so out of 1,700. That is definitely well under 50%. So we can declare victory. Double check that everyone has declared defeat. Yay for kick to the head, yes. Punch table is always really brutal because there's a 1 in 6 chance, and we have critted the bulldog again. But it survived and it can be fixed, so we're all good there. The Hermes stays unconscious, and I think I will call that Hermes captured because it's going to take him a while to recover from an 11 to wake up, several minutes I'm guessing, and at that point we will have him surrounded and all of his buddies will have surrendered, so we can claim that intact if we wanted. We do save because it's only one more click, and we did control the battlefield, yes. So the Mark III Archer, which is missing a cockpit and basically all of its armor, missing its entire right torso and damage to the left torso, right arm blown off, left arm is actually technically intact. No damage to actuators or anything. Literally it's just the right torso, some internal damage, right arm reattached and the cockpit replaced. That's actually less severe than I thought it was going to be. Hoser's ride, significant armor damage, but nothing internal, not even anything to reload, so he's going to be in and out pretty quick. The Atlas, aside from the damage to the right arm that we were unable to repair, looking pretty good. The left arm got down to 7, so that's in, I would say, good shape. Yeah, punch table is nasty. Called shots firing higher with LBX or SRMs are lethal with skilled gunners too. I don't play with the called shot rules. I'm a little less familiar, but I understand that you can take, what is it, I think a 2-point penalty to use the punch table on a ranged attack, or the leg table, or and I think you can also aim to the left and right as well, right? I'm not sure of the effects on that exactly. Might be a -3. Again, it's an optional rule and one that I don't use. I feel like even under the best of circumstances, the pilot making the shot is trying to hit specific locations on the mech, and I just feel like leaving it up to chance is a more realistic solution. So this is the Mark II Archer. Took significant armor damage. It's gonna need a new right arm. Gonna need a new, well, yeah, just a right arm. He lost the laser and the shoulder. The left arm is badly damaged. Or no, it's the right arm with the shoulder, it's the left arm with the laser. But still, aside from replacing that right arm, nothing too terrible there. The long tom and the thumper undamaged. You guys were down to 16 from 28, I think. And you guys were down to 25 from 28. So we did lose a few infantry, but nothing major. So I'm overall pretty happy with how that turned out. And there it is. That 1 pixel wide zone where it's the cursor I need it to be. Alright, so did anybody take any damage? Okay, field gunners, KIA, sadly. Wounded, KIA, so that's 2 guys actually dead. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that was 8, 9, 10. So yeah, it seems like most of the guys who were incapacitated did actually die, because I think we lost, what, 13? So that must be 3 injured and the other 10 dead. Alright, so we've got another 21 percentage points to play with. And we were already at, well, I mean, there's 24 total million on the table here, including what we had previously salvaged. But we've got this Griffin here, which is only missing a leg and a foot. So that could be, we could do that. Stalker, yeah, let me find the Stalker. It's just missing a head. I don't think it was internal on the arms. Yeah, it needs an arm and a head. And that will be our second Stalker. And that puts us exactly at 50%. Now, we could take something else small, but it'll probably bump us up to 51. Okay, so we could take a busted Hetzer just to practice our techs with. But I think... I mean, do we want... The Griffin is a good mech. Spider escaped, Plainsman escaped, Drillson and Thunderbolt. Did the Thunderbolt escape? Yeah, he was missing an arm, but he was otherwise fully mobile. Let's see, the Ontos was immobile, but still viable. So, but that's 500,000 C-bills. That's going to be more than a couple percent. These guys are all salvaged. Cicada escaped. This Phoenix Hawk escaped. We can take a Vedette as well and still be right at 50%. I'm sure that's all we're gonna get out of it though. Alright, we captured, who did we capture? We killed one of the Demolisher guys. The Hermes we captured, the Hetzer was destroyed, so we captured some of those guys. The Stalker, dead, yeah, we knew that. And this Vedette, some killed, some wounded, some captured, looks fair. Alright, and... Okay, if I had been taking notes on who killed what last time, I was not able to find them. This Mercury is going to... It was one of the AC-20 field gunners. It was the ones that were not hurt. So let me just back up to our injuries and determine which one that was. Thank you. And I apologize for taking a little extra time here. It was, okay, that was AC-10, AC-10, AC-10. Okay, so ID-10 field gunners were the autocannon 20 that took the more damage. Those were the guys that were just hiding up between those two buildings. So it must be the other autocannon 20 field gunners that got that kill. So not 10, but 14 got that kill. The Griffin, is that the only Griffin? Yeah, the Griffin goes to Petra. She was the one who eventually legged it with a kick. The Assassin went to our allies, the Demolisher went to our allies, and I think the Ontos went to our allies as well. So, for Fred Jones, we've got 1 kill with the Wolverine. We've got 2 different field gunner units that got kills on the Hermes and the Vedette. We've got Belfry with a kill on the Hetzer and the Stalker. We've got Petra with a kill on the Griffin and the Scorpion. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Scorpion. Was also killed by these same field gunners. So those guys really acquitted themselves quite well. We were able to preserve at least 3 of our objectives. We lost the Flamer, the Rocket Launcher, the Forestry Mech, the PPC turret, the Flamer turret, the Flatbed truck, the LRM-5 turret, the Thumper turret, and the Battle Mech recovery vehicle. But we were able to save the Harvester, the Savior, the APC, which never... I think he hit like once or twice with his machine guns, but he was honestly not that helpful. We were able to save the Jabberwocky and the other APC. No. 2 machine gun APCs, and they did so little I couldn't even tell them apart. I didn't know there were 2. Preserve 100%. Yeah, we lost the laser carrier, we lost the javelin, we lost the bulldog. We did force withdrawal, and we did preserve 50%. So that's 1 scenario victory point, 2 scenario victory point, 3 scenario victory points. So we did claim victory for the scenario, but because the javelin couldn't take a hit. We lose 3 contract scores. So the 7, I think, should turn into a 5, because it's up 1 for victory, -3. Should be a net of -2, I think, but we'll see. Disconnected, yes, we knew, and yes, 5. Okay, this is fine. We're still positive. That's the important thing. And we've got, if I could just find, okay. So we've got our refits. The Orion will be ready in another couple days, so that's good news. We have prisoners. We have Ji-Young Surendra, who is a green vehicle gunner, but will decide to join us. That could come in handy eventually. Senek Slavic is a regular vehicle driver. And again, I'll wait until the end of the contract to actually free these people, because I don't want them actually fighting against their former comrades. That just seems like a conflict of interests to me. So we got 210,000 Seabills in exchange for the damage to the Archer Mark III, 24,000 for Hoser, 33,000 for the Atlas, and 53 for the Mark II Archer. So all told, 260, a little over 300,000 Seabills for that. So that'll at least pay for like the armor, you know, and then money for ammo for the artillery, ammo for the field gunners. I trained some prisoners for money, yes. And typically the ones that don't want to join my side, I will ransom for money. And actually last week I had mentioned when our friendly pilots get captured, I don't see anything wrong with being able to just pay money to get them ransomed back at the end of the contract. But we'll see how that goes. We did salvage the Vedette, the Hetzer, and the Stalker. So, and the Griffin, yes. So in the infirmary, we've got a bunch of prisoners, got some privates. So we're going to have these 5 privates are going to be seen by Dr. Delphine Chaklas. And we also have a sergeant here. Yeah, we definitely want our people getting the best care possible. So I'm just making sure that these are all our people. If I find a prisoner, for example, yeah, let's go ahead and unassign those guys so that we can assign our people. It's not cruel to prioritize like this, is it? To where our people get... Actually, wait. We have 2 veteran doctors. Alright, yeah, so these are all prisoners, some of them willing to defect, some of them not, but Dr. Chocolates is pretty much at capacity, 24 patients. Should max out at 25, I think, but I'll take it as it is. Prisoners is there to train the doctors, yeah, for sure. Big part of getting the most out of your people in this game is maximizing your XP gains. That means things like taking, you know, salvaging as many tanks as you can to get your mechanics up. Always trying to repair things before you sell them if you can. So I'm glad that's over with. Excuse me. Let me just make sure I don't have any. Yeah, this engine we can have, I guess. Let me hold off on that. I think I've got more stuff to salvage. That's not going anywhere. Meantime, the Archer Mark II is going to be... Yeah, that's going to be an all-day today and tomorrow project for Chris. And then the left torso is probably going to be another couple of days as well. It is Thursday, so we've got today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then theoretically we could also spend some of Monday's time. So we've effectively got 5 days to fix things up before we have to see combat again. So yeah, I'll have Chris start on the torso armor of the archer. Oh, it's because we're in the field. Let me start by, okay, yeah, it's already sorted there. All right, who is actually in the transport bays? That is the Orion and the Rifleman are being refitted. The Archer is definitely going to need to be in the transport bay. The Atlas doesn't need to be, but we can go ahead and put him in a field workshop. Awesome, I feel like it's just armor damage. This one's gonna need an arm, so that one gets a transport bay. So we've got the two archers, the Orion and the Rifleman, in the transport bays. I want to mothball this when I get a chance, but in the meantime, it's in a field workshop. And then, of course, all of our tanks and infantry units are effectively in transport bays on account of the fact that they're not mechs. Field workshop, okay. Still... so 2 days on that, and we might have to GM mode fixing that if we fail it by 2 or more, which, because it should be in a transport bay, it should get a bonus of 2 to the roll. So if we fail the roll by 2, we'll just correct that. But in the meantime, we have an archer that is not actually going to take 4 days, fortunately. It is, however, gonna take, yeah, at least 3, just on the center and left torso armor, just at the rate that we're working at. So we've got, I guess, Halima. Oh, hold on. Let's active personnel, mech techs. Shasta is working on the Orion. Chris is doing all of our maintenance except for the Atlas. Okay, so Halima has less time on a daily basis, but everyone else should have their full time available. So we will go ahead and we might... 7s, wow. We'll have, I guess, B is going to be behind the curve XP wise already, so 30 minutes on that, 315 minutes on that, the only one with that much left. Then again, yeah, alright, 170 minutes tomorrow, no big deal. Halima might be actually working towards an edge point at this rate. And Maloney on that. Oh, okay. Right arm. So we go to salvage, we narrow it down to right arm, and we start pulling stuff out. How many medium lasers do we have? Can we afford to just tear one out? We have, okay, under mech, we have 3 medium lasers in storage. Something tells me that's not going to be nearly enough. We are going to buy... I think we want to buy 5 more so that we've got a total of 8. And those will start arriving tomorrow. So yeah, if we, well, on a 9, because it's low quality, Yeah, I really don't care if we break that. We'll have her try that, and yeah, okay, no big deal. Actuators, we don't really have as many spares of those, so kind of want to hold on to the ones we have. Alright, so that is it for salvaging the right arm. We go back to all, and then we scrap component, and then I always spend extra time on replacing limbs just because like it doesn't make the sense to me to fail multiple times and potentially break a bunch of parts when that's not strictly speaking necessary. Still got the full 5 days that I calculated last time, or last time earlier, but do I really want to waste time fixing things that should have been done right the first time? The answer to that is not so much. Other archer. We want, can we, on a 6? Can you give me a 6? It's gonna take a couple of days, and Halima, I did not notice, actually did earn her 10th point of XP. So I do think what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend that on an edge point, and we're gonna try to remember that Halima is the one with the edge, and try to give her the tougher rolls. In the meantime, none of these other people have edge, just to double check. Actually, Lonnie has edge. Alright, so the Atlas, which is currently being, yes, Halima, we want to assign no, not Veronica. Veronica's the one with the most XP, right? Yeah. We want that. Honestly, we want that to go to B, I think. Actually, do we really want a regular tech Shasta? How does this look? Yeah, you don't have edge. Honestly, I kind of feel like we need to assign as many mechs as possible to her. So we'll go these 3 to start with. And we're just gonna load up Shasta with as many mechs as possible, because at 0 XP it's gonna be a while before she becomes an elite. And she doesn't have any edge, so effectively she's less effective as a tech than Chris. So, and that should be 2 heavies, should, yeah, works out equally to, because I think it's, what is it, 45 minutes a day for lights, 60 for mediums, 75 for heavies, and then 90 minutes a day for assaults, I think is how it goes. So now we've got Shasta with no time at all for working on things, but Chris has edge, so that's definitely a step in the right direction. And then just, yeah. So all of our mechs are now being looked after by veterans, so our regulars and greens are all full-time. So we can start on that LRM-20, and we need to do some parts acquisitions, apparently. Okay, we're going to order 2 right arms, 2 upper arm actuators, 2 upper leg actuators, 2 foot actuators, LRM 20s at $250,000 each. Yeah, I feel like we go through those quickly enough to warrant having a spare one on hand. Not worried about primitive armor. We're not going to buy the sensors because that comes included at the head, and we're only going to order 1 of those because that's another $250,000 C-bills. And we don't go through 85-ton heads the way we go through LRM 20s, apparently. And just to check on all of that, we've got, we'll have a right arm in 2 days, upper arm actuators in 1 day, upper leg actuators in 2 days, foot actuator in 1 day, LRM 20s in 4 and 12 days, and the head will arrive in 3 days. So, all right. Right torso on an 8. I think I really would rather have one of my veterans looking at that. My veteran's already going to be tied up doing the armor on the archer. This is less than ideal. We've got 60 minutes left. Let's just go ahead and reload some ammo bins for right now. I can call that a day. We still have just this engine that needs to be fixed, so we're good on these 3 tabs. This tab we've been keeping up with. Everything looks right there. No one got enough kills to warrant any awards. I mean, we did well, just no one got that much concentration of good luck like last time. So Murdoch with his 37 XP, we're saving up for, I mean, piloting would be good, gunnery would be really good. Tactics and strategy wouldn't be bad the way the meta works out. Leadership I don't think we need just yet, and negotiation I think we're good on as well. We already have 4 points of edge on Murdoch, being the company commander and all. Petra with 23 XP could improve piloting, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but gunnery, I mean, I know it's 20 more XP, it's 17 more than we have, whereas we could get the piloting now. Archers are inherently stable though. Starwoman, hey, how's it going? Just wanted to hop in and say, hey, going to get some food though, so I'll catch it on YouTube. Well, definitely glad you could swing by and say hi. Lovely to see you. And if you do end up just having to bounce out and catch it on YouTube, I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you in the Discord or, you know, wherever, whenever. Let's see, you're still wounded from a battle the other day. This is not fresh, just so we're clear. With 12 XP, that's not enough to improve from a 4, and I think we're okay for edge with 2 points. And Fred, 12 XP is again not enough to improve from a 4 or a 3, and I think we're okay on edge. So I think with Fred Jones we're saving up for probably piloting because he already has the weapon specialist. With French, I think we're saving up for gunnery because they're the same cost. With Petra, I think we're still saving up for gunnery, and honestly probably with Murdoch as well. Sounds good. Catch you later. Yeah, have a good one. So yeah, appreciate having you. We also have 4 mech warriors in reserve. One of them is green and one is ultra green with a 7/8 though. So you get the bug mech. All of our soldiers. had we, remind me, been keeping up with Purple Hearts? Apparently. I'll make a note to go through off camera and make sure that all of the infantry have the awards. That's going to be combat action. That's going to be Purple Hearts for the ones who got wounded. Set up the edge triggers, I guess, for the ones, because combat action awards a point of edge. I don't even know, actually. Yeah, infantry with edge doesn't really do any good at all. But maybe they could like cross-train into 7-8. I wouldn't let them wash the hangar floor. Yeah, that's pretty rough. But if we put her in a training lance, at least she'll advance quickly. Every 5 XP at that point is going to be a point of piloting or gunnery until they get down to 5-5. And from 5-5, it's going to be 10 points to advance to the next point. But that's 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 6 to 5, and then 7 to 6, 6 to 5. So yeah, 25 XP, or 22, I guess, since she already has 3. 22 XP would get her to a 5-5 pilot. So yeah, I think it's worth giving her a chance. What mech would we put her in? Probably the Hermes, being the lightest thing we've got. And also being a custom variant that's a little more survivable. So yeah, let's see. So we've done all we can on our mechs in the repair bay. We still have Doodles salvaging stabilizers, or trying to, and Maria Teresa salvaging, I think, or I guess reloading some ammo bins. And then maybe trying to salvage some SRM ammo. And that will hopefully be done tomorrow. Emilia, I assume I'm pronouncing that right. Quality E, quality F, those are going to take forever. Quality F, D, E, E. Yeah, this Savannah Master was in really rough shape before it got trashed. This stabilizer is quality C, so we can, I guess, get started on that. Difficulty 5 should be done tomorrow, I think, right? Mechanic, 100 and, oh. Emilia has 115 minutes per day to spend. That was Emilia, yeah. So that stabilizer is gonna take, I guess, well, should be done tomorrow, but with not much left over. I'd still wait for a better pilot. You're more generous than I am, or perhaps you just like her. Now we know. I mean, I would love to wait for a better pilot, but we're in the middle of a contract, so we can't make paid recruitment roles, and all of our prisoners are gonna remain prisoners until the end of the contract. Speaking of which, yeah, we do have a regular level mech warrior, actually superior to a regular, being a 4-4, who is ready to defect. So being that it's April 9th, we've got about 2 months and 9 days roughly before we can recruit that person. We also have a 4-6 who is actually 2 XP away from being a regular pilot, also ready to defect. And a regular driver and a regular gunner and a couple of green gunners, one green gunner, I guess, ready to defect as well. So come the end of this contract, yeah, we're gonna see a pretty noticeable increase in our combat personnel roles. Speaking of which, I had just to refresh everyone on where exactly we are. We're kind of down here just south of the Federated Commonwealth, on a planet called Wing. Alright, I think that is all we can really do for today, continuing until Friday. We've got some ammo, some arms, some lasers arriving. Chris fixed the armor on the archer with an 8. B fixed the armor on the archer with an 8. Amelia still working on that stabilizer. I guess I misjudged that. Maria Teresa salvaging ammo out of the Scorpion. Sabra failing to salvage the engine on the J-27 and breaking it, essentially. Still taking apart the salvage bay door, or trying to salvage the bay door. Lonnie working on the cockpit of the Archer. Halima gets the new LRM-20 into the Archer Mark III. And we've got 120 minutes left on the Orion. So that'll be done tomorrow. Happy day. In the meantime, that doesn't need to be a... well, 110 minutes on a 5. Yeah, I'll take a chance. It's only 20 some odd points. We will have B do this big job. Oh wait, that's us. Oh, because you're a veteran. Wait, veteran? Oh, right. Because Chris is also Mr. slash Mrs. Fix-It, which gives a bonus of 1 to things that are in poor condition. So we'd definitely have her try and fix this armor successfully. Huzzah. We'll have Veronica spend her whole day doing this left leg armor. And we can, this left arm, just down to 3 points. Or, do not have enough veterans. That's all there is to it. We'll have B. Yeah, that'll be done tomorrow, that's fine. Set her torso. We definitely don't want to break that part because then the mech will just forever be substandard. Have Halima start on that armor. We can go ahead, spend 20 minutes there. I'll let the techs just take a roll on the armor. Worst case, the armor gets destroyed and just buy more armor. Yeah. I have mixed feelings on doing it that way. It is more expensive financially. What I'm more concerned with at this point right now is on these like harder rolls that are like 6s and up, is that on average you are going to spend less time total, but then especially for like the big jobs that are like 200-300 minutes, like if you fail that roll, that's another 300 minutes that you have to invest, and I'm on a little bit of a time crunch right now, so I'm just trying to maximize what I can accomplish in the amount of time I have, and I do not have the text that I want for all of this work. I don't even have the text to mothball and maintain the mechs that I'm trying to accumulate. Alright, so the Savannah Master is junk, the Scorpion less so, so we can start taking that apart and failing on 5s. Multiple times on 5s. And have Maria Teresa salvaging more ammo. And I guess you can get started on that. You are automatically investing the time when you take ×2 time, right? Yeah. When I invest ×2 time, it is spending as much time as if I had failed the first roll and made the second roll. But on the flip side, I'm spending less time than I would if I failed the roll twice and made it the third time. So I feel like there's a balance to be found, and I know like I do tend to be more conservative. I prefer the easier rolls. I just feel like the dice are never in my favor. I feel like perfect example right here. I needed fives. I failed it twice in a row. um, I feel like that's the kind of thing I can expect from the dice. So that's kind of how I play, as if I'm expecting um, to fail. Oh, we have a news story from Atreus. Free Worlds League passes controversial military reorganization. The Free Worlds League has passed an act completely reorganizing their military components. This act, dubbed the Military Reorganization Act, dissolves all provincial forces and makes them a part of the larger Free Worlds League military and forces them to accept new recruits from all sources of raw talent. Several unit commanders have bucked against this act, stating that the influx of untested or otherwise undesirable soldiers will have a negative effect on the readiness and discipline of the Free Worlds League military. There are reports that many of the commanders have stepped down instead of accepting these new members, and at least one has taken loyal forces and fled Merrick's base. I'm largely ignorant of the greater socioeconomic forces at play in this kind of decision, but I feel like that's, I don't know, just a little bit of flavor that probably fits into a grand scheme that there are people who know enough that like it would, you know, it hits home, I guess, for them. It's not really the phrase I'm looking for, but like, you know, it's more relevant to their knowledge than mine, I guess. Free Worlds League has some good stories. Honestly, I haven't read a whole lot of BattleTech outside of the Grey Death Legion trilogy, and I've only recently reread the first two books of that. So yeah, I'm fully aware there are just untold amounts of lore that I'm completely ignorant of. I I feel like I understand most of the broader strokes of lore available in the game. And I've heard of at least, you know, most of the major and minor factions and a lot of the major players. But as far as like a lot of specific events, I'm kind of blind to. There's a lot of tension between the position of Captain General and the constituent states. So the Free Worlds League, I guess, as the name implies, is kind of more of a coalition than an actual unified nation. And these are the constituent states that you're referring to. Kind of almost like how in American politics you've got the federal government and the state governments, and there's like a conflict or a balance to be found between the powers of the different. The old house books are available for free. For free? You're giving it away free? Sorry, inside joke from years and years ago. Alright, so we have our green tech now, who can now do all of the reloading for us. Yeah, we'll spend 15 minutes putting 2 rounds in that. That's all armor, that's no armor there. Ammo there. Stalker, yeah, let's go ahead and reload the Stalker now. Because why not? And I guess we can start salvaging this ammo bin. It's more of an obvious coalition compared to the other great houses, which are all often also de facto coalitions. I just listened to Ideal War about Thomas Merrick. That was interesting. Is that Ideal War? Was that a novel? I assume when you say you listen to it, you're talking about an audiobook. Yeah, novel, audiobook. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think about the relevant news story and the various sources of BattleTech lore, and at the same time like plan my my repairs here because it's Saturday, so we've got today, tomorrow, and Monday, and we are still in pretty rough shape. This archer is missing an arm still, which Lord is 7, and it's gonna take us the whole time. Well, we might be going into battle with a one-armed archer. And that's a 7 as well. And that's a 6 for a regular. With center torsos, I'm not willing to take a chance at a 6. I used to have almost every MechWarrior paperback. Not sure if I still do after the move. That's a shame. I'm very fortunate. I've moved several times and I still have almost all of my RPG stuff. I've got some old 2nd edition D&D books that I've had since I was literally a kid. I've still got some of my dad's old BattleTech miniatures from the not Battle Droids, but the first printing after Battle Droids. So I guess technically the 2nd printing of BattleTech, but the first printing under that name. And I consider myself lucky to still be able to have all of that. I've lost untold numbers of other books, novels and whatnot. Read up until Twilight of the Clans and the Dark Ages stuff. Yeah, same. Honestly, I haven't even read much of Twilight of the Clans. I remember I had read the Aiden Pride trilogy in high school, but Lord, that was over 20 years ago at this point. If you're interested in taking a look at the books, mind if I offer a couple of recommendations? Yeah, no, sure, definitely go for it. Those were good, yeah. I haven't yet to read a BattleTech or BattleTech adjacent novel that I was not just like thoroughly stoked for. I guess I have a low bar when it comes to stompy robots. I'm easy to please. Read a few of them. Well, was Aiden Pride Twilight of the Clans? I thought it was more like the beginning of the clans. Wolves on the Border, I don't think I've read. What was it? My only issue with the book's not enough stompy robots. Yeah. Actually, I recently started rereading a different book from my youth called War Strider, which honestly feels so much like a BattleTech fan fiction. It's giant stompy robots, but it's against alien enemies that use nanotechnology. Can I post a link? Sure. If you don't mind. I mean, yeah, you can post it in the chat, I guess, would be okay. But if you're on the Discord, you could also post it there, and that'd make it probably easier for me to click on the link rather than I don't even know if I can click on links from the chat as it is right now. Do I need to maybe change the settings, or let me click on chat settings here and see if there's maybe something I can find. Manage moderation settings, maybe. I don't know if that's something I want to mess with right now when I'm actually live. Putting War Strider on my list. I must have missed. So far as I'm aware, it's not a series. It's just a single standalone novel. But yeah, for a single standalone novel, it's got a bit more of a Japanese flair. It takes the stance that basically it was the Japanese industrial empire that pioneered space exploration. So pretty much all of the explored space has some kind of ties to Japanese culture. But other than that, and the fact that it includes nanomachine aliens, it's straight out of BattleTech. They even talk about 7-book series. Is it really? War Strider. I was just gonna say they even refer to like the different models of mechs that they use, and they talk about them being, you know, like 70 tons with weapons that are described as being very similar to PPCs and lasers and autocannons and things like that. I'll post in Discord. Yeah, definitely. Once I finish rereading the first book, I'm definitely gonna want to check those out. I had no idea that it had actually continued on past that point, being that I hadn't been involved in the series at all in like 20 years. Right. So we've got an archer with a busted gyro on a 6. It stays busted on a 2 or a 3. Cross your fingers, folks. And we get a 7. That could not have gone better. I am super happy we got that gyro fixed. And then we're going to spend a couple of days fixing the engine. We got distracted. We distracted the streamer and got him off task. Yeah, for sure. And honestly, being that it's already 7:30, and considering that I was up super late last week with that extra long stream, I'm probably, it's not looking like I'm gonna get into a battle tonight at this rate. Honestly, it kind of feels like I'll be lucky to make it till Monday at this rate before I have to shut it down for the night. But I'm okay with that. Not every night can be as action packed, I guess. And I'm just trying to figure out how to spend these last 20 minutes of tech time that I've got for the day, and everything is 7s and 8s. Sure, we'll start fixing some armor. It's only a 6. We've got some ammo bins. Yeah, sure. Already did that. Okay. Going into Sunday with the unmaintained units. You act like you're an old man who goes to bed before midnight. A lot of action at the beginning. Yeah. Well, first of all, I am an old man. I'm older than I think most people guess. I certainly feel it. Silent goes to bed after midnight, he melts. That's not entirely true. There have been a couple times I've been up on the Discord until like midnight or later. And no, I don't melt, but I usually suffer for it the next day. Oh no. Oh no. Something bad happened. You're a young man. We had this discussion before. Sure. Not even gonna go over the fact that I'm another year older this week, so got that to look forward to. And okay, yeah, this arm is not an oh-no. We knew about that. That's old. Okay, so we fixed the engine, we fixed the armor, salvaged the bay door, salvaged the ammo bin. Chris is still working on that arm, still working on this rifleman refit. We do now have an undamaged modified Orion with wait, the KA. That's a standard configuration, right? 2 medium lasers, LRM 10, SRM 4, autocannon 10. Or no, the KA, because I dropped the LRM 15 to a 10 and dropped a ton of ammo so we can max out the armor. So we have a brand new 75-ton mech that we could introduce in place of mayhaps the awesome, I think it was, we were planning on doing. Let me see if I can. I forgot to sing happy birthday for you. We should record it on Discord. I have the other effect where people think I'm older than I am. 21 and running. 21 years old? Yeah, that is young. You carry yourself well for a 21-year-old. You definitely have a maturity that belies your age. Let's see. Yes. We were planning on assembling a heavy lance. I think, because that was 80. No, we were going to go with an assault lance. We were going to keep the Atlas. We were going to keep Petra in the Orion, Star Wyvern in the Archer Mark III, and Hoser in the Awesome. Okay, so we've got Petra in the Orion for now. The Angler we can remove from the TO and E, and we can add Petra in the Orion here. And that brings our Lance total up to 325, which is still kind of an awkward weight class for a Lance, being 45 tons above Heavy Lance at 280, and 65 tons below 55 tons below an Assault Lance at 380. So we could actually, since we do have, yes, we also have this Wolverine. It's the base model with the cramped cockpit, but we do have put French in the Stalker. The Stalker's not ready yet, is it? This one's still missing an arm and a cockpit. This one's still missing its whole head and needs an arm. Let me see if this. Let's see, this is the one that just needs a cockpit. It might not be ready in time for Monday. And again, on a 6, we might get lucky. It would still be missing an arm. Put French in the Stalker sounds like it has some political connotations. I'm not sure I follow. I'm not sure I want to. So let's see. Why can we not? Okay, so we have to salvage something out of the right arm first. Okay, we've got a medium laser. We'll have Veronica pull that out, or try to. Oh man, things are... Do I really have 480 minutes I can spend on this right now? The Mark II Archer is suddenly not a priority. Mark III Archer needs its right torso more than anything. But on an 8... how many 70-ton right torsos have we got? We have 1. Let's go ahead. I could sort of already fixed this once since I started here. Let's go ahead and order 2 of those. It's going to be 4 days before it comes in. Left arm down to 5, right arm blown off. But otherwise, it's really this right torso I'm worried about. But an 8 is harsh, and I'm not even going to get it done tomorrow at this rate. That's a 9. That's about 25%. I need better techs. I need to repair our current mechs first. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. Just no more that without BattleTech context sounds highly inappropriate to the passerby. Yeah, I'll give you that. All right, so we've got 270 there on a 6. We've got 200 there on a 6. Loney, you're gonna try and fix the left leg and the left torso. Go 10 minutes into tomorrow with that. B, 7 is still better than 50-50. Fixed. Alright, alright. I feel you. 70 minutes fixed. 270 minutes at times 2 on a 6. Yes. Alright. The Atlas is almost done. So I will take that as a win. Are any of these going to be any easier to fix than any others? 6. 7, 7. Just for homogeneity. Those are all 7s, so those are neither easier nor harder. You need a torso and an arm. We will try to roll some 6s, I guess. And fail 2 out of 3 times. Alright, so the awesome, not quite combat ready. Hopefully we can fix that tomorrow if we do have a battle. Atlas is still missing 20 points on his right leg, but other than that, we're not doing too badly. Hopefully that'll all be done tomorrow before anything happens. The Mark III Archer is in the worst shape of all. Honestly, if it came down to fielding either the Mark II or the Mark III right now, I'd have to go with the Mark II. I know it doesn't have the heat sinks, but at least it has missiles. And that's literally all we can do for that right now. We can have Doodles try a couple of these 7s, and Sabra as well. Parts acquisition 2 missing. That's primitive armor and the mech sensors for the 85 tonner, which are coming with the head that we have on order. But there are some other things that I feel like I just need to go through and audit this entire list, and just make sure that I've got enough of everything. I don't know why this keeps resizing so small, but I want another 8 tons of autocannon 10 ammo to bring me up to 200 shots. 100 shots of autocannon 20 should be fine. 45 shots of autocannon 2 should be fine. Let me go ahead and order another 40 rounds of autocannon 5. Going to buy. Inventory management is a real job, yes, it absolutely is. Let's go ahead and order another 400 points of armor. No, let's go ahead and order the full 800 points of armor. Yeah, some of that's not even going to come in for another couple of weeks, so that should be good. We've still got a good stock of double heat sinks. We've got some flak ammo that we're not really using. We could always do some more work, shave off by selling what we don't need and selling an asset management device. Honestly, there are probably some parts here that I could sell if I wanted to. I've got a couple of engines here that are worth almost $500,000 each. We've got the engine that came out of the primitive Orion that's worth $1.3 million. We are down to $7 million in the bank, so that is something I might consider if things get desperate. For right now, I'm content just ordering enough to have 2 of all the actuators that we're using, and actually there's probably an easier way to do this with the parts in use report. We're not interested in having spare engines really at this point. We are using 7 autocannon 10s and we have none in stock, so 200,000, I'm feeling a little gun shy on pulling the trigger on that big of a purchase for something that I don't think it's worth it at this point. It won't be long before I feel like I want a spare AC-10 just to have. Double heat sinks were good. Flak ammo we're not really using. Foot actuators, we're using 8. We have 2 in storage. Foot actuators. Alright, 60 ton, we've already got 1 ordered. 70 ton, we can go ahead and order one of those. And 75. And go ahead and get a couple of 90 tonners in. Hand actuators, we're only using 1 40 tonner hand actuator. We have enough to keep that in stock. Also known 90 ton hand actuators in use. Interesting. Alright, lower arm actuators, let's go ahead. I kind of want to just like have, eventually I want to have like 2 of every kind of actuator, or maybe 3 depending on how many mechs we have at the time. As well as, you know, like spare parts, arms, legs, what have you. Basically, the situation I prefer to be in is where I've got enough spare parts to build just several other spare mechs as I need to. We're using 5 LRM-20s. We have 2 on order. Okay. Center torsos I don't think are worth buying unless you're buying endo steel center torsos to swap in during a refit. For 24,000 each, we can go ahead and order some front legs for the Xanthos. Heads we will order as we need to. Left arms, I don't feel like we necessarily need more than 1 of any given left arm. If we lose 2 of the same tonnage left arms in 1 battle, we're in trouble. I'll lurk, dog time, we'll watch the rest on YouTube. Alright, well, it was good seeing you. I'm honestly probably going to be wrapping it up here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. Happy to be streaming for you guys. I'm just happy to have the company. I like making connections, building the community. I mean, honestly, we're all just here doing what we love, right? Buying center torsos makes me think of the Ship of Theseus problem. I am familiar with that, and yeah, because I mean, like, if I had damaged a center torso, I wouldn't be able to replace it. Like, that's... it's kind of weird the way that works. I stayed late tonight for your birthday. Well, I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you in the Discord and all of that. Glad you could make it. Hope your dog is well. Yeah, let me just finish ordering out all of these parts that I'm using so that we're down to, I can't see my money. Well, but again, yeah, as always, I appreciate having you guys along for the ride. It's just, I feel like great fun for everyone involved. The scenario finished quite successfully, even being outnumbered. Yeah, I'm honestly pretty surprised at how well we did. I really thought that I was like gonna have to replace both of those archers, and we ended up being able to keep them both, and they're even relatively fixable. So I mean, it was just wins all around, I feel like. We have spare SRM-4, 2 spare SRM-6s. We have 2 spare cockpits. Using 14 gyros with 0 spares. Wouldn't mind having a spare gyro or 2 in storage too at some point, but not right now. We're already feeling a little broke just from this quick ordering. Excuse me, this ordering spree that I'm going on. Turrets, not too worried about right now. Actuators. Yeah, that's only 5,000 C-bills. Yeah, actuators are cheap, which is good, because you can just kind of pretend like they are expendable. And that leaves us, well, still at 7 million C-bills, but this is at least a couple 100,000 C-bills worth of stuff, so Alright, Sunday going into Monday. No mech techs available. Limited mechanics available. And with this Savannah Master, honestly, I don't really care if we break stuff or not. I just need to get it out of my bay. Got it. Okay. And then we can start on that. Alright. Just a saying, we buy a nuke and we become Outer Haven, a mercenary group that breaks out of the norm of being oppressed by any government. How about, and hear me out, how about we try instead to fix the system from the inside? Or at the very least try to make a profit by working the system as it is. Alright, so Monday has arrived. We've got a personnel market. We've got autocannon 10 field gunners. Let me just check the TO and E. Remind myself, we've got 2 20s and 2 10s there. We've got 3 5s there. We could fill out the light field gunner lance with an autocannon 10. It'd be a little less light, but it would be an even lance. So yeah, we'll go ahead, hire you. Alright, we have Probe Defender occurring in 3 days, and that is, I assume, going to involve Mariana's Lance. Yes, so that's our Command Lance and an Elite Pilot in a Wasp versus 13,000 BV worth of enemies. We've got a Phoenix Hawk, another Mercury, Blackjack, Phoenix Hawk, an Elite Pilot, and a Wolverine. 6M is the one with the medium laser, or the large laser. Yeah, large laser, medium laser, SRM6, medium laser. So that is, I would say, probably one of the more dangerous Wolverine variants, and he's got a 1-3 pilot at the helm. At a 2-5 and a trebuchet, the 5S is the SRM variant, so that guy's going to be really deadly up close. That's, what is it, 3 medium lasers and 2 SRM6s, looks like, and enough heat sinks to use pretty much all of them. And 6-6 and a Hunchback 4G, and some reinforcements in the form of a Hunchback and Urban Mech, both of which have pretty good gunnery, a Scorpion and a Stalker. So this is, I think, what we're going to do. This Wolverine, who also, I forgot, we need to assign there. Just double check. We've got the Xanthos and the 2 Stalkers are inoperable and need to be mothballed. Well, the Xanthos needs to be mothballed. We don't have time right now. I want to fix up one of the Stalkers and probably mothball the other one. Griffin, missing a leg and a foot. The Wolverine. Oh yeah, I need to be on the personnel tab. I was going to put Vernita in the Wolverine. 6R. And we were going to add that to our lance, and that should bring us up to 380. Alright, so we are now officially at the top of the weight class for assault. And before I forget, we changed this. We are now a augmented lance, just to keep things straight. And while we're at it, I've got some fresh field gunners. We've got several veterans to choose from. I think April Hu is going to be our sergeant for no other reason than I like her name. And we're going to turn all of these guys into privates. And we're going to add an autocannon 10 to our light field gunners. Because why not call them light field gunners when it's autocannon 10s? We can change that to a full lance icon, and because I'm a little anal about this, I like the autocannon 10s at the top of the list for no good reason other than my own OCD. True, people pay a pretty penny to not be pressed by war crimes, or pay a pretty penny to commit them at their enemies. Yeah, but you would never see Grayson Death Carlisle committing like nuclear war crimes, I feel like. And that's kind of what I'm aspiring to be like. As a matter of fact, the whole gray color scheme, the whole theme, if you will, of the gray coloring has always really appealed to me. In the Space Hulk box set back in the early days of 40K, one of the expansions had rules for the Grey Knight Librarians, and I really latched onto that idea when I was playing Armored Core. I created a gray and checkerboard emblem, and I've whenever whenever I'm creating a mercenary force or like a mercenary mecha, like in Armored Core. For me, it's always a struggle not to go with the gray color scheme and the name Grey Knights, because I've just been using those since I was basically, yeah, like high school time frame. So we can continue tearing apart this Scorpion tank. The Savannah Master is going to be another couple days. This is the Stalker that needs a head and an arm, which is, I think, the one that's probably going into storage. This one just needs a cockpit and an arm. The cockpit should be... Oh, right, we're in salvage mode because we were salvaging stuff out of the right arm so that we could replace it. We'll have Veronica Hurst try that and finally get it. So we can go back to repair mode. We can go back to all. We can try to find that arm. Oh, I was looking for it to be grayed out, but it was already destroyed, so same thing. Alright, so we've got 3 more days to fix stuff. And we're not concerned about the Archer 2 so much as we are with the Archer 3. I know I said earlier if I was pressed I would take the Mark II over the 3 in its current state, but ideally the Mark III is my weapon of choice because it has double heat sinks and more lasers. So I am going to try to get the Mark III serviceable and ready in time for this next battle. And I really don't want to break that left arm and have to take it off. Do you play much multiplayer or use human players to run the contract op 4s? I feel like, and I may be misremembering, but I think it was years ago I did manage to play a little bit of Mega Mech against someone. I think it was a friend that I don't really speak to anymore, which, I mean, it's whatever, but yeah, it's been a really long time since I've actually played Battletech against someone. Like a ridiculously long time, like probably at least 5 years since I've played against anyone but the bot. So like I'm very up on, I'm very familiar with like the rules and stuff, but as far as like the strategy, I know how to predict the bot, but against a human player I feel like I'd be at less of an advantage, being that humans are you know, less predictable than the average computer program. 480, 75. We'll do the 75 and the 150. And then I guess get started on the 345. And we'll have B get started on, and it's gonna be a couple days anyway. And I don't wanna take the chance of sacrificing 32 points of armor. That's 2 solid tons. So I'll spend the extra time because I don't wanna. That's money. That's money. Alright, so holding off for a veteran for that. Holding off for a veteran for that. And I'm not gonna have time to do both before, what was it, the 16th? The Atlas is done effectively. The Awesome will hopefully be done very shortly. So at this point, yeah, we might as well start trying to put this Stalker back together. Let's go ahead and just get started like so, I think. Yeah, we'll do 5s on the actuators and get started on the first couple of those. And then I guess you can get started on this armor. So we're coming along, 16th, yeah, okay, so. If you feel like a friendly game, I'd love to have a go. Human players are more fun, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm doing anything this time tomorrow. It's been a while since I've checked out T-Rex Discord, so I don't know if he's planning on streaming this week or not, but if he's not streaming, yeah, I'll see if I can set something up with you for tomorrow. Let me know on Discord when works good for you. Works good, because English. Let me know what time works well for you tomorrow, and we'll set something up. If you want to do 30-50 tac, maybe, what do you think, about 6,000 BV sound good for a friendly game? Like kind of like a mid to slightly on the heavier side of a lance at 6,000 BV, because yeah, we're running just under 10,000 BV with this lance, and that's 5 mechs, all of them medium or heavier, including an Atlas. So yeah, 6,000 BV, 30-50 tech. I assume you're cool with me bringing custom mechs, knowing, as you should, how customizing mechs is basically my favorite part of all of BattleTech. So yeah, that'll be fun. We can probably throw something together. All right, sounds good. Do you want to do a hard 4-mech cap, or do you want there to be like some leeway? Honestly, at 6,000 BV, I might end up just taking like 3 heavies, if that's cool with you. But yeah, we can talk about it on the Discord after the stream. Speaking of which, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save my campaign here. We've got 3 days until our next battle, and it's going to be a doozy. There are 15,000 BV and change worth of enemies, but we only have to kill a quarter of them. We have to keep 3/4 of our own forces alive. So, game is saved. Can chat about it on voice comms at some point. I'll need the files for the customs. Okay. Yeah. I should be able to. I'm trying to remember the name of the format that it saves mechs in, and I'm drawing a blank, but it's basically a text file. So I should be able to post those on the Discord for you to download. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. It's been great having you guys along for the ride. I appreciate you joining the stream, joining the Discord. Give a like, follow, comment, subscribe, whatever it takes to join the community. look forward to next week with you guys and seeing about this probe mission that we've got lined up. So with that, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight, y'all, and have a good one.